Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to another episode of A Day in the Life podcast. So, as you guys know, in this podcast, we invite industry professionals who have spent some significant time in the industry, in their specific domains, and we have a conversation with them where we try to understand the key aspects of what has shaped their career, their success mantras, their challenges, and we basically see if we can derive some learnings out of. The audience for this podcast is basically engineering students and other students who are building their careers in technology. So the idea is, as they start their careers, maybe they can pick up some nuggets from this conversation, which can help them to make the right decisions. Okay, so guys, so today we have our guest, Miss VijayaShanthi. She's an engineering manager in BGSW. She has spent 18 plus years in this industry and with her has a deep experience in automotive domain, particularly ADAS, which is automated driving systems. So without taking more time, I am going to welcome her. Welcome, Vijay Shanti. And thank you for being here and pass the baton to you. So my request to you, Vijay Shanti, is why don't you just brief about yourself, what you do in Bosch.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, thanks Chinmay for the opportunity. So I'm VijayaShanthi, born and brought up in southern part of India. So I like to call myself a polyglot, easily able to converse six different languages, and that has helped me really to connect well with people, and even in the organization where I'm part of. With Bosch, I proudly say I'm born and brought up in Bosch as well because I joined as a fresher at Bosch. Then in between went out to see the world and then got convinced there's no other place better than Bosch, and I'm back in Bosch again from last 8 years. Throughout the journey, starting as a fresher electronics and communication engineer, to today what I am playing the role of an engineering manager. The role and the organization and my experience has given me chance to pursue my dreams, my passion, and also be relevant to the domain. Yeah. So this is in short about where I am today and from where I started. And I would like to highlight that being in the industry is not how easy it was to be in the academics. Yeah, so we have seen a shift, how important is to realize, am I supposed to change myself, or is there a need to change and adapt to survive in the industry? So in the next few minutes we can discuss about it a lot, but I would say with support of a lot of people, braved and courage to be still in the industry, and I'm confident I'll have a long journey ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So six languages, that is amazing, Vijay Shanti. That is amazing. Where did you pick that up? And how did you do that?
So it's when you don't have an apprehension not to learn and want to communicate with the people. Yeah, so that was the pure interest. So the colony where I was brought up in my early childhood days, so we lived in a community where people from different part of the country were living in that. So we had several people who didn't know Kannada. Yeah, so if I wanted to talk to them, I had to pick up the language. For example, that's how I learned Tamil. And I remember in one of my part of my career, I had a team of 6 members. Even the performance discussions used to happen in Tamil. So that's how easily you can connect with people if you learn the language. And basically, Telugu is also my mother tongue. So that's how I learned. And I'm proud I'm born and brought up in Karnataka. So I had no chance to get rid of the language. And then Sanskrit is something I picked it up through the exams, the Sura Saraswati Sabha, and I'm proud to say I'm the state level medal holders from this Shringeri Peetam as well, and I've covered the maximum exams. And even with Hindi, I'm there with the Ahmedabad University, and I've done my Sahitya Ratnam. So
I think we lost her.
Yeah.
We lost you in between, VijayaShanthi.
I, I,
You're
I
talking
I
about
meant
Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad University, and that's how I got introduced to Hindi. So that's how the six languages are with me, I would say.
Oh, that is fantastic. And I think for languages, we can see that. And I'm sure it has helped you in your professional career as well, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Staying connected with people through language eases them to strike a conversation with you. So that has really helped throughout.
Amazing. So tell me about your early days. No, where did you graduate from? So why don't you also share where have you, spent your growing years? You said you were were you in Bangalore or somewhere else?
So Bangalore is definitely not my start place, I would say. So I was I was mostly my initial days happened in Bhadravati, Shimoga. So Gujarati is place where we have this Mysore paper mills. That's where my father was working, and this was because it's an industry. So the entire community people working for this organization stayed together. So that's where my early childhood days, very positive impact of my on my childhood because of the friendly environment that we had, and it was also a company school, so everybody who is there is also living next to your door. So that's how we were brought up. And then early days I was also introduced to something called discussion class. This is a discussion class where it's by the students, for the students, and to the students. Yeah, so this was started by one of the LIC officer. His name was Gopal Krishnamurthy. We fondly called him GK sir, where students used to teach the other students. When I say teach, a 10th standard student used to guide the 9th standard student, and then when the school started, by then in the summer holidays, we knew what the syllabus is. Yeah, even for 11th and 12th, there was no concept of tuition. It was all our seniors who guided the students of their previous batches. So we predominantly did for high school and CET, and our fondly the IIT preparation, and then the PUC. So this was all from the students community. So this was my very positive introduction to how you can face students and a bigger audience, and you will also have to teach what you have learned, and it's only 1 year gap what you have learned. Yeah, so that was a very significant impact on my journey. And once this was during the high school, once I got my PUC done at Shimoga, we moved to a place called Ballari, a place known for different reasons, for mining and the red sand. But still, the city has something good to offer. Several engineering colleges and the medical colleges. So this is something at this place I would like to highlight. Right from LKG, when somebody asked, "What do you want to become?" I always said I want to become a doctor. You know,
Okay,
and
wow.
then yeah, so why am I an engineer? So there is something that made me decide, when I had to choose between PCMB versus PCMS. That's how in Karnataka we have to make a choice in PUC, right? So either statistics or biology. So my father asked me to draw three diagrams, because biology and doctor is all about drawings and so much on paper, right? Your body on the paper. So I utterly failed to draw a minimum three things that he asked me. It was as simple as drawing some fruit and a scenery or something like that. And my father said, "You cannot make a struggle with a minimum thing lacking." And then he said, "No more biology for you." So I'm still happy that I decided to take engineering, and that's how I chose not to become a doctor and become an engineer. And life has been easy, at least in the last the engineering years. So after engineering, when I joined Bosch through my campus interview, campus recruitment, I waited for 1 year or 2 years, and then I did my master's in software systems from BITS Pilani, and tried to settle down because career was very important for me, not because of any pressure, because I liked what I did. And then it was my dream either to do in IITs or in IIMs. So as recent as 1.5 year before, I did my EGMP, the Executive General Management Program from IMB, and that has been my academic journey till now. And still, given a chance, I would like to do my PhD, and I'm waiting for the family to support me. So that's how my interest has been with academics.
Oh, wow. So, yes,
Yeah.
you are deeply academically oriented. We can see that. And I hope
Mm.
that you're not regretting becoming an engineer instead of a doctor now.
Yeah, I'm happy about it.
So, what did your early career look like? As
Yeah.
in, what did you start out as, and how did you work your way to the current position that you are in?
Yeah. Two. Early career, right from college, not being born and brought up in a tier one city like Bangalore, or the not the metropolitan city. The first change after the campus recruitment was to adapt to the culture that we are part of the city. Yeah, so this was one of the thing. Yeah, and being in Bangalore and then being directly put into the organization had a tremendous impact on presenting myself to the world. Yeah, so it could be as simple as the way you carry yourself. Yeah, the confidence within the four rooms when you're in a college, to the confidence that you have to present with your work in an organization. It was two different faces of the coin, I would say. Yeah, and the early days, I was part of something. Throughout my journey, I've been with mostly with automotive and telecommunications. So automotive, from the beginning, we were awed by what Bosch showed us in the introduction. You know that when you're in college, they come and present you what they do, and with the vehicles, passion to vehicles with bikes and cars that I carried with me throughout. So that was the first thing I told myself. There is no go that I leave the organization, or how serious have to be. This was the first thing I told myself. Though I had the dual mind whether I want to do my higher studies or still be part of the organization, I chose and I told myself that I'll not look back, and I said I will stay in the industry. This was the first grounding rule I told myself. Yeah. Second thing, now I've decided to stay in the industry. How do I survive? Yeah. So for this, I had two levers of the support systems. One, my father came from a executive leader position in one of the renowned organization. Yeah. So he was my first support system. So whenever I trembled and whenever I had something in doubts, he was my first constant support system. And second thing, I connected with my seniors. Either the college seniors or within the team who can guide me. Yeah. So these two points help me to survive. Was I in a very good position that everything went straightforward? I was able to handle the transition from academics to college. It was definitely very, very hard. Yeah. So I was the one who often did a lot of things beyond my academics. Either could be sports or supporting whenever there is a need, and getting transitioned from that phase to 9 to 5 job and sticking in one place, attending meetings, and then reporting to someone with your effort. All this needed a lot of transition. So it took a while. They luckily, touchwood, there were support system who guided us that this might not be the way it is you're expecting. You will have to adapt. So I would say support system, the attitude to adapt, and the decision that I will stay in the industry, come whatever it may, has helped me to be where I am today.
That is interesting insight, VijayaShanthi. Very interesting. I think you talked about two important things here. One is a support system. So, like either finding some mentors within your family, or other alternative is connecting with the college seniors who are already part of some industry, and they can maybe support you and guide through this. That is a valid point. So, why don't you tell us about your current role right now? What is the role you're performing now in Bosch, and how is it, helping the company go forward?
Yeah, sure. So currently with the engineering manager role, so the role is basically to handle the center of competence. Today with the industry where we are part of, purely driven by technology and the skills to match up the speed at which the market is expecting. So we have transformed from a project centric organization to a center of competency based organization. Yeah. So based on my experience with both automotive and telecommunications, so I picked up on this something called the DevOps, not so famous till last 5 years, I would say. So this is something that has really become quite evident in the last few years, yeah, because of the speed at which the industry is requiring the solutions. Yeah. So in my current role, we offer solutions for ADAS, primarily in ADAS, whatever the famous, you have the autonomous driving, you would have heard about it. Yeah. So today, the autonomous driving for Indian roads, or it could be for the worldwide. So we offer solutions primarily for radar and video. For example, if the driver is driving and if he's sleeping, there is a beep indicating not to sleep. Yeah, so this we achieve through video sensors. And then we have something called the radar-based modulation, where you detect the objects and then give the warning to the driver. Yeah, it could be as simple as the features. These are all basically the comfort features for the driver. Yeah. So we offer software solutions for these sensors, worldwide support, and it has really been interesting to see the shift at which we were basically delivering earlier, where the life cycle of the project used to be, let's say, 2 to 3 years, but now it's as fast as the customers demand us to deliver within 1 year. So for me also, being in the industry, and going through this transition of how fast you have to deliver has also put us on spot and has necessitated to be faster and adapt and be flexible and deliver whatever the market demands. So that's where, as an engineering manager today, I get to meet a lot of people with diverse background and work with them very closely. So we are trying to make impact with excellence to the organization which we are part of, primarily in the automotive domain.
Okay, excellent. So are you? I mean, do you have a team of yourselves, or are you more of a manager with different teams spread across? How does it work for you?
So um, again, manager with people, manager as an individual contributor, as a choice that one has to make in the industry if you have to stay relevant. Yeah. So I chose to be the manager with people because working and interacting comes naturally to me. And then it's also a skill that You have to tell yourself that you can work with people, and not working individually is your comfort zone. So I've chosen that path into organization. So in my organization currently, we are 100 plus passionate engineers working with cars, and we work on different topics across the V life cycle model of a project. So we have a team. So we work on a lot of interesting OEM requirements and ensure end-to-end delivery around these sensors that I mentioned for ADAS.
Interesting. So now, one question that I have for you is, so when kids graduate out of college, I think they have been taught some technical aspects, some theoretical knowledge. They will know some aspects of technicality, programming languages, things like that. From an industry perspective, what skills do you think, both technical and non-technical, the kids need to have in their mind or build over time, which are
Mhm.
at most required for most professionally succeeding in a large organization like yours?
Yeah. So, for this question, I would like to answer directly with my experience working with, because I also readily agree when at BGSW when we have hired the set of freshers. I've been there as a fresher till what role I'm playing today. So I strongly believe freshers bring in few key things that we often find with the laterals. Yeah. So one is the speed at which they know what is happening, what is the most happening thing around in the world. Yeah. For example, with freshers, programming languages comes naturally to them, and they are very close to, let's say, for example, a computer science graduate is very close with some of the programming languages like either C++ or Python. Yeah. However, today in most of the deemed universities or even the other universities, the curriculum is chosen well enough that they are able to also handle the industry projects. For example, at BGSW,
We lost her.
example at example at BGSW, today we have lot of industry connect and the college program where we have chosen certain subjects and offered as courses in their academics already. For example, it could be cybersecurity, or the basics of automotive. Yeah. So these topics are already included as part of their semester courses, and because of which they already come a little bit prepared to whatever we expect. Yeah, this is one thing. Second thing, a hands-on on any of the programming language is something that we have observed most of the students bring it with them, but hands-on and able to adapt it to what the industry requires is something that we help them to go through during their on-job trainings. Okay, so I think having some class topics covered in their academics and making it customized on-job trainings has helped us to onboard them from academy to uh, industry, I would say.
Okay. So, the straight question is, what is your expectation already having of yourself? So, do you hire freshers, and do what is your expectation from them? What do you need from them?
So I think here I would like to highlight that the way the freshers were, the expectations of freshers from the organizations few years ago and today what we see has really drastically changed. Yeah, so I think we hear this categorization of the people who join from college, right? The baby boomers till the Gen Z and then the Gen Alpha. Yeah, so my predominant observation has been they still want their freedom of choice. Yeah, and the freedom of time to pursue what they feel it as important. So giving them that space and still being very strict on what you want for the projects in the organization, communicating to them the bigger picture of what they have to do and what they have to contribute to the project or to the task what they have been given has really helped us to steer their thoughts. Yeah,
Mm.
so it's not one size fits all. For all the freshers that we have got, they've been brilliant with the academics, brilliant with the speed to
Mm.
catch up what we demand from them, but their freedom has to be taken into serious consideration, and then it works out with both of us. Yeah, spending time customizing it for them has really helped us to make them stay relevant.
No, but do you think that they need to be prepared with something? So particularly, I'm talking about, let's say, kids coming from tier two cities. Okay. What do you think that besides academics, what they can prepare so that they can fit and transition into their professional roles with more comfort and they can be maybe productively better than what they are today?
Sure. So for that, my strong recommendation, 2 or 3 points. Yeah. So the first one being, decide whether you want to stay long or you want to stay only 2 years because you want to do your higher studies. You know,
Okay.
decide this part and show genuine interest in whatever you do so that the leads or the team members or your managers don't feel they have wasted the time on you. Yeah.
Okay.
So first, show your genuine interest that you are going to stay. If you have decided you're going to stay there only for 2 years to just taste the industry experience, please communicate. Yeah. Decide before you join. The day you join, within 1 week, transparently communicate that you are looking for your higher studies and you come with a validity date. Yeah.
Okay.
So does this endanger your presence in the organization? No. Yeah. So today we have projects which end in 1 year. So might be the manager puts you in a project where it's 1 year and it's a win-win situation for both of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a fair
So
point.
my first recommendation, decide, communicate transparently. Yeah. And second thing, when you're in college, Chat GPT comes freely just by paying the monthly license that you have free for yourself. Yeah. When you come into an organization, this is a serious compliance issue. Yeah. So don't please copy the code and ask Chat GPT to make it better and make it compliant for a boundary condition. Please don't do that. Yeah. I'm sure every organization has a Chat GPT flavored with its own wrappers for their own organization. Look for that. It's not a sin to use Chat GPT, but it's a sin to use non-compliant Chat GPTs for the organization where you are. Yeah. So this is the second thing that they will have to take into consideration when they are put onto the job. Yeah. And the third thing, please start talking to the team members sitting around you. Yeah. So having only phone on your hand and taking help of only Google will not help you survive in the industry. Yeah, Google is there with you 24 as long as the internet connectivity. Mukesh Ambani gives you good offers with his plans. So it's beyond Google. There is still that humanitarian touch that is needed. So please talk to people with whom you're sitting in the cubicle, over the lunch, over the coffee, because I strongly believe network is net worth. Yeah. So that mentor connect, team member connect, peers, college friends still in the industry. So this really helps you. So in my view, these are the three strong points that they should have in mind to adapt to the industry when they come out of the college and are stepping their steps in the industry.
A fair point. I think very nice points, Vijay. I think. Shachi, do you have any questions for her?
You're on mute.
Yeah, I hope I'm audible now. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about the college students and college preparation, right? I just wanted to know, are there any like courses, specific certifications that you would recommend for someone who wants to enter your field?
Yeah. So I would like to answer this in two points. One, from which college you are coming also matters a lot. Yeah. So a college that has an exposure to these kind of industry connect already in your curriculum, there are no additional courses required. Okay. For example, today, some of the colleges across India, we are connected where we offer courses like I mentioned before. Yeah. I mean, they are very well versed with what they have to come prepare for us. So for those students which have the possibility of exposure to the respective industry or the organization, they will have to ensure they come prepared at least with the hands-on with the language, programming language. So that's something we strongly recommend, that either you are a mechanical engineering student or chemical engineering student, if you have the benefit of getting recruited through your college, please get well versed and get hands-on with your coding skills. That's going to be your best friend for rest of your life. Okay. So this is for one set of people who have early exposure. The second set of people who are not coming from the tier one colleges, let's say some remote parts where they didn't have a formal good connect or the industry connect accessibility. Based on the interest, if you've not got recruited to the college through the college, there are certain courses that they can take which offers recruitment as well. So there are in different parts of the country very well known I would say institutes, where they give you hands on for your respective engineering field, and please join that. It would come with an expense, but still it will give you that hands on which is needed. Yeah. So take help of these kind of institutes, or ensure we have a lot of MOOCs around. Could be Udemy, could be Simply Learn. See if you can get certified to the language which you're not well versed through the academics. Let's say a chemical engineering student or an IT background student who wants to get well versed with Python, let's say. Yeah. Get into the certification, mention them in your profile, in your resume. Yeah. So that it gets noticed. So don't find for shortcuts for learning in the early phase. Keep doing, keep practicing, and that should help them to get into one of the organizations, even though they have not managed to get in through the campus recruitments. Still, it is positively possible by practicing these things.
So, Vijay, would there be a set of languages which are preferred, let's say by organization like yours? What would be, so like you said Python, C++, maybe Java. Are there some of these where students can maybe spend maximum of their effort to build their expertise?
I would readily say yes. Yeah, these are the ones which will never harm you. Yeah, it will only help you. Okay,
Great.
so that's how I even giving my example. I did my electronics and communication engineering, so that helped me to understand the embedded part of what Bosch offers, because I was placed in Bosch during my campus recruitment. But what I struggled is my programming language skills. Yeah, so
Okay.
in my first semester, I learned C programming, but never was introduced to data structures and OOPs. Yeah. So
Wow.
that's when I told myself that I have to get into a lever where I'm aided with this. Yeah. So that's how I got into Masters of Software Systems, where it was purely the computer science subjects that are required. So see consciously where you're lacking, and also don't shy away to put your additional effort. Yeah, so we often say, right, 4 years of engineering and 40 years ka life till I retire. No, that's still good to preach and coach, but still the industry demands more and more from you. Yeah, so see if you want to stay relevant for next 60 years, and then invest, consciously spend time today. I think so they will have to pick up these parts whichever you are not comfortable with. So that's why I said the certifications. So to coming back to your original question, Chinmay, for our industry, yes, because Bosch also has a very wide portfolio. you know
Hmm.
so a
True.
skill which is relevant in first floor might not be relevant in the second floor of our building. Yeah, so it's as wide as it is. So the branch from where you're coming in, and also after you're getting placed and after you get into the organization, what is that skill that is expected out of you? You have to have a close tap on it. And if you're not comfortable with that skill, please take your self help and help of your mentors or your seniors to make yourself a better version. Okay,
Yeah.
but in general, whatever you said, these C++, Python, Java, all this has to be one of them. You have to be thorough enough, and then wait till where you get placed and pick it up from there, and make it a point that you become a better version of yourself. In that, whatever is demanded out of you is something you have to have a close latch onto it.
Yeah, guys, I think you heard her. The message is loud and clear. You have to build an expertise in set of programming languages. At least one is a must. I think that's what her message is. And second thing, I think the message that is again striking me strongly is connect with people, connect with your peers, connect with your seniors, connect with industry people who you know. Take effort to find out. I think that will open up your eyes. And our program, Industry Connect, is actually in that direction. So we are trying to bring people like her who can help you, even mentor you at a later stage to really create a more successful career for yourself. But again, related to this topic, another question comes to my mind, VijayaShanthi, is so there's a lot of hype going on. So the world is talking about everything, right? So a few years back, it was data, data, data. Now we have gone the next level. Now it's AI, AI, AI. Now, how is all this impacting the nature of work? Because when I'm talking to kids, I am sensing that, okay, it seems that they think that this is the only thing that is left for work. Okay. And second, there is an apprehension where people are also talking about now AI can do all the coding. I don't need to do any coding, or it is going to take away software engineering jobs. What is your take on that?
So AI, we shortly touched upon as my second point of what they have to be careful. AI for us is coming handy in several ways. Yeah. So I'll give you an example how this is very relevant for us. For example, I told about the video sensors that we work. Okay. So the AI, all of us understand the beneath layer is your machine learning, right? So the machine learning today, believe me, after so much of staying live, it is still not able to figure out how well a driver sleeps when he's driving a car. Yeah.
Okay.
S- Yeah. So that's exactly how a human can challenge a computer. Your sleeping pattern or your snoring pattern, still the NLPs are not able to assess. So, as long as every human being is unique, AI still can't overtake everything that is required. Yeah. So, while this is on a lighter note, has it not helped us in doing what we are today? I can easily relate and give you an example how things have become easy with intervention of these AI models and taking help of us. Yeah, I remember my initial joining days. You will not believe we didn't have access to Google when we joined Bosch as a fresher. Yeah,
Wow.
I remember taking printout of my design and then sitting at home and then putting those runnables where things have to be connected. All this, yeah, and even to take help of what the AutoZAR standards required, we had to figure out that PDF within the intranet and only then refer to and then adapt our stack. Yeah, so growing in a phase where there is no access and now looking at how AI can influence your code, I see a huge benefit. Yeah. For me, there are two main things that AI is helping us. Yeah. One, the amount of time we used to spend to access certain basic things to make a clean code. Yeah, so that comes today so beautifully detected by these AI search engines or AI models. Yeah, so those helps you to deliver clean code so fast. It tells you the hotspots, it tells you the design anti patterns so fast. Yeah, so it's up to us how you use it. So one thing I strongly say that it has helped us to deliver clean code for the first time. Okay, so be compliant. And second thing, for the embedded systems that we are working, the computer vision algorithms or the deep learning algorithms, that has helped us to make our systems, the embedded systems, the size of the ECU, or it could be the algorithms that we have. It has helped us to improve our precision and helped us to improve, adapt the senses to different parts of the world. Today we are trying to launch the same camera systems for Indian roads. Believe me, the challenge we are finding is to detect how a auto driver overtakes. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
true.
how the potholes are on the road. So this is where how AI or the machine learning algorithms helps us to detect the roads properly, or a woman wearing the complete dressed differently. So these are something that you have to detect, and this comes really handy with AI. So I strongly believe it's a very good aid of the engineers. Be careful, don't copy your code everywhere, anywhere, and then use it wisely, and it's a friend for you in a virtual form is what I consider.
Yeah, excellent. I think I agree with you, and I think point. I think this is a message again. It has to be well understood by people who are entering the workforce with all these powerful tools at their hand. And we have to remember, in the end, these are tools. You are the smarter one who is going to use that tool to make your life easier, to deliver products which are smarter and more better than they were before. So they are the AIs is not going to do the thinking. You still need to do the thinking. Use the tool smartly to make your life easier. The message, I think, very nicely put by her. One thing I missed asking you earlier, please also touch upon no, DevOps. I think we have been hearing about DevOps for some time. In simple words, what is DevOps?
Yep. So in simple words, when I have to give an example, how you execute your final year project. Yeah, what do? So you sit, all of us sit together, or we go to that institute where you pay money. I hope people are not offended with this, but still, whoever is trying to complete their project, all of you sit together, write your lines of code, execute, then submit your project report. Yeah. However, when in an product like what, for example, Bosch is offering, we are talking about the ADAS systems where your airbags ECU has to talk to your adaptive cruise control ECU, and then your infotainment system has to talk to your airbag ECU or to the braking system. So your scale of scale of the system network or the system architecture goes complex when you start working from a project from your college to an organization. Yeah. So here what is needed is to be focused is the developers are sitting across different parts of the country. Yeah. And you are driven by milestones. And there is a need that parallelly people have to work. And there is a need to get the early feedback. For example, when you are doing a code in one single PC, all 10 of them coding together, you get to see the results one after the other. It's like serial execution. Whereas when you are working in parallel, you need to get the feedback whether my airbag ECU is properly talking to my infotainment system, or my infotainment system is not having any side impact on my adaptive cruise control. Yeah. So what DevOps helps is for parallel development. Okay. So 10 people can work in parallel and see to it that the change made by developer A is not breaking the change that the developer B has made it. Okay. So DevOps largely helps to bridge the gap between the developers as well as the operations team who is responsible to deliver it to the end customer. Yeah. And it also helps you to give faster feedback. Yeah. So for example, we ensure there is one working software every night. Okay. So this is something that when 100 developers are developing across the globe and making it available in a working way has a lot of thought process and technology involved to ensure how you have a working software every day. Okay. So DevOps is basically something that will help you for parallel development and also for faster feedback. So these are the two things that I would like to highlight what this brings. Of course, the underlying technologies with Python, we do a lot of cool things, ensuring the continuous integration and continuous deployment and continuous delivery. So we have tremendously had an impact in the delivery times and the lead time in the integration. So earlier it used to take 1 week to have a working software, but I proudly say today with the intervention of something like the DevOps principles, so we are able to reduce the lead time to as simple as 1 day. Yeah. So there's a huge impact of these principles on the life cycles of the project. So this is part of agile, what you often get to hear. So this is part of agile way of working.
Excellent, excellent. So I think these are the concepts I think kids will have to pick up as they start working. So besides the technical knowledge, I think these are the kind of operating principles, project methodologies, I think, which which have evolved over time, and I think are in practice now, which help in productivity. I think the things and the kids do not realize, but some important parameters for the organization are about this productivity, because it's a large organization. As VijayaShanthi said, thousands of developers spread across the globe are working on a project, and it has to be managed efficiently with proper releases, proper testing, such that you actually release efficient code. I think these are some of the aspects where we as students, we actually do not bother to think. But as the scale becomes bigger, I think the problems different kinds of problems will emerge, and DevOps team is actually going to ensure that this is actually taken care of in the most precise form as possible. And yeah, as she said, there are some very cool things happening in DevOps. It's the next hot thing.
True.
Coming back, VijayaShanthi, to where do you think now, as you look forward from here, what is your aspiration goal? You have already spent such a large time in the industry. Where do you think you are going from here, or you would like to go?
Yes. So personally, for me, being part of the journey of this transformation, I consider lucky to be in this era where exposure to digital life, from analog to digital. So this transformation is something that I want to scale it up at the organization level. Yeah. So I proudly call myself the DevOps evangelist. Uh, I see this is a mindset. So today the questions often come when I go talk to people saying you have to be fast enough. Then they ask, what do we do with the speed? Yeah. So I see clearly there is a need for the mindset shift to have a stronger intervention of DevOps in the industry. So I'm looking at scaling up and ensuring the projects have a significant CX maturity. When I call the CX maturity, it is the continuous integration, deployment, and testing as well. So I'm looking at building an organization where the speed matches to the demands of the OEMs. Yeah, and I would like to take on the head of engineering roles and also the CTO of the organization, where there is a possibility to have stronger penetration and intervention of these technologies in the wide portfolio what we as Bosch are offering to customers.
Interesting. I think I wish you all the best. I think with your new plans, I think I wish that they be true. So, any words of advice for young? I think you already have given a lot of tips in our conversation, but specifically, if you have any other tips which are not yet covered, I think feel free to suggest.
So I would once again like to highlight that be passionate. Don't compare yourself. Each human being is unique. So don't compare very early. Give it a time to settle down with whatever task or whatever project you've been assigned to. Yeah. So see if you can live it up for 1 year, 2 years. If it's not working, only then look for change. Yeah. Otherwise, don't quit too early. Don't give away. Yeah. So independent of being a woman or a man, I would say be passionate, be like what you do, and then don't give up early. So these would be my few words that I would encourage the college graduates to remember when they step into the industry. It's not going to be easy, but you can do it. That's the message.
One more aspect I think here is about, other than the technical skills, what are the, so language and communication was one we actually talked about, but other than that, as we actually start working and start our professional lives, what are the non-technical skills which have been very helpful for you and which you would also suggest people to work on developing?
Yeah. So um, the non-technical skills, in my first starting three things that I mentioned, the third one that I mentioned is also start speaking up. Yeah. So don't get hooked to your phones when you are in office. Yeah. So start talking to people. Yeah. Nobody has time to notice you and come and talk to you. there would be only 10% of people who would do that. It's you who will have to proactively think through and converse. I mean, we often say, right, the introverts versus the extroverts. For few of them, it comes naturally. You have to ask them to stop. For few of them, yeah. So for few of them, it's really, really out of their comfort zones to go and talk to people. Yeah. So if you're not comfortable going talking to people on general matters, talking about where did you buy your dress or where did you buy your chapel, instead go talk to them on your project. Yeah. Go talk to them and ask, is this requirement new? Nobody would feel and label you as wasting time. Yeah. So I would strongly recommend being proactive is one of the non-technical one of the non-technical attitude that you have to build when you join. Nobody has time to come and talk to you. They are busy. They are on their project schedules, on their milestones. Yeah, this is one thing. Second thing, it's tough to be very self-conscious and being self-aware at the beginning, but if you're not comfortable with something, speak about it. Yeah, there is hierarchy in the organization who is being paid to take care of your roles and responsibilities. Yeah,
Right.
so this is a hard truth. Yeah, so there are, I mean, it could be as simple as people like me. It's my job also to ensure the team members are feeling safe and comfortable. Yeah,
Right.
so look for this right space and the right time to go and talk what is making you uncomfortable. Yeah, unless you give that space to be get disturbed, nobody can disturb you. So make yourself feel that I'm important for myself and also for the industry. So go talk if you're not comfortable with something. Yeah, so don't shy away. Don't feel embarrassed that I'm going and talking about what I'm not good at. Please speak up. There is enough help around to help you out. Yeah, while the proactivity is what you can offer, second thing, identify what you're going through, be self-aware and talk about and raise your hands for help. I think the current industry transitions that we have gone through, we see often parent and their kids also working the organization next to each other, right? So they come together to the industry. If you have support system within in-house, perfect. Yeah, talk to them. Yeah, Instagram is not the only place you get help. People can give you help, right? So social media is there to disturb you, and social media is there to help you know what you don't have. Yeah, but take help of what you have. So I strongly suggest take help, identify your emotions, what you're going through, and speak about it. So these are two things. I think this didn't come very early for us. So
Mhm.
taking a lot of EI sessions, I mean, like getting trained from Hebar sir and lot of such industry people, we've managed to do this. There are support systems taking the EI assessments at the beginning when you are not able to cope up with certain things. So if you can talk to people who have the right know-how, will definitely help you. So I think being proactive, identifying what you're going through and taking help at the right time, these are the two non-technical things that you have to be very conscious at the beginning of your career, I would say, Chinmay.
Excellent. So Shashi, do you have anything else?
No, no, nothing more. It was those are all really great insights, actually.
Yeah, Vijay, I think fantastic conversation. I think thank you so much for the good insights. It has been really helpful and very interesting conversation.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for hearing and giving this. Thanks for giving this opportunity to share my journey. Yeah.
No, I was saying it was a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Then.